Alright, this strategy we're going to call our short smokes onto B, which is basically just a slight variation of our long smokes for the B site, which you can see in my other video. What it's going to consist of is a smoke lane, smoke in between Gray Train and Bomb Car, a Molotov at Summit, an optional smoke at Connector, and a smoke to get the op out onto the catwalk from Heaven. This is going to punish the CTs playing only one player at B, and having that player play at Gray Train or at Summit. To note, one spot that they could sit to try to counter this is right up here on top of Gray Train. So if you're the entry, checking that, swinging towards Spool, but then also like right as you're coming out, just looking for top Gray Train and then looking towards Spool, as that's another spot that the CTs wouldn't necessarily be mollied out, but will be flashed sitting in this position. So they most likely won't swing immediately, but top Gray Train could be a spot where CTs catch us off guard. So I'll start out with the op. So the op's going to come towards catwalk here. They're going to kind of sneak out until you can just see this window here, and then tap forward and throw. This is going to get the smoke out a little bit farther than normal, and it's going to allow the opper to look towards Yellow Train. So if there is a connector smoke, then the op wants to focus right here, because that's where the players will most likely be swinging on CT side. If not, then he can look all the way over here towards the connector to catch those rotators off. But most likely with these smokes, what the rotators will do is they'll swing over here, which the op should be able to catch one off pretty easily from up there. And then he's just sitting up here for the rest of the round. Ideally, he has a Molotov to then throw just like so onto the default plant spot later in the round. For the rest of the rifles, so the two players will be throwing the majority of the grenades are going to line up on either side of these two. There's like a little gap here, this little edge, so you can kind of stick yourself in this corner. The first player lines up on the, if you're looking at the left side, he's going to get in this corner and he's going to be throwing a smoke and a flash. So his smoke, he just stands still, looks right here and smokes, and that's going to smoke off lane. This is going to get significantly deeper than normal and is a lot more consistent. And then he's going to line up a flash just right here on the post up here and throw that. That's going to pop just above the his smoke and above the players running out. So that flash will just need to be timed with whoever is entering out onto the site. And then the other player, so that's the two nades for him. The other player will be throwing the Summit Molotov, the smoke between Bomb Car and Gray Train, and a flash out onto the site. So his smoke, he's going to get into his corner here. His smoke, he's going to look just right at the base of this wall, as close to this wall as he can get with the smoke still going, and that's going to bounce out, and it's going to land a lot deeper than normal, meaning that the Summit player isn't able to jump up onto the mid part of the Bomb Car. So a lot of times the smoke lands right here, the player can jump up. With this, it lands a little bit deeper. So he's going to be here, he's going to throw his smoke, then he's going to jump up onto the pillar here, and he's going to move, or on the railing, and he's going to move left, and obviously at this point there's someone, like, there's an entry getting ready to go, so he doesn't need to worry about the ramp. He's going to go until he can just see only this blue bucket here, and then look like right there above it, and tap forward and throw, and that'll land Summit just like that. And like I said before, this will either push a Summit player out into this open space, or it'll just trap him right here. So once the site's taken, if those smokes are still up, nades could be thrown through into this spot, because most likely there's going to be a player sitting there. And then lastly, so he's going to throw the Molotov right here, and then he's going to drop back and throw a flash just like this. That flashbang is going to blind a player sitting spools. So even if they're all the way tucked in the corner, that's still going to full white that player just like this. So he can be playing back here or up here. And either way, he's full white, so this player is disabled for about like 3 seconds or so, which is enough time for this entry to come out, clear, and then move around and take out the player at the spools. So I'll just do that one more time so you can see. So first things first, smoke, jump up, Molotov, and then flashbang, just like that. And that's how it'll look. And he runs out onto site. This player can be the player with the bomb, as he's probably going to be the 3rd one or 4th one onto the site. And that's the main strategy there. Optional, we can have a connector smoke if we run up and we line up right here on the wall. So like here we can see the gap. We don't want to be able to see that. So right when we can't see it. And then this is kind of tricky here, but we're going to look about right there, so just above this bit, but just to the left of that bit right there, and then throw. And this is simply just going to slow down the rotate and make any players coming in from a site a little bit more sketched out about swinging here. Even though all the smokes and stuff are coming down, it means that there's just a little bit more hesitation for those players coming out. And then additionally, once they are out, they might decide to swing this way, anticipating possibly like a player pushed up close red, which this fight isn't as favorable. So that's the strategy. That's what each player does. To take B site and our short smoke execute.